Hi, thank you so much for watching. Welcome to a new video. So I was really excited to set up and get ready and film this because I got really pumped up writing all the content that I'm going to share with you today. It's powerful, it will change lives, so it's really worth watching. Now I know the title says 15 habits, but I actually have 30 for you. If you are getting my email, the other 15 will be in your inbox this Friday, and this week I also hope to periscope about a couple of them in more detail. And because it's a live broadcast and we can do Q&A and I can take your questions, I thought it would be amazing to mention this. So if you want to be involved and you have the free app, we can get connected in real time, which is so cool. So that is it. I would like to get started, and thank you so much again for watching. Habit number 1 is to visualize. I don't believe in visualization only because energy attracts energy, but it's also an amazing way to fall asleep faster and shake off any juju from the day, so you can basically start the next day in a better frame of mind. I'm sure we've all experienced times when we go to bed and we keep thinking about the things that worry us, and those things typically keep us up at night, but instead, focus on what you want to go right tomorrow. See yourself doing the things you want and feel what you will feel when that happens. That is a true difference between a powerful and effective visualization practice and wishful thinking. And on that note, I would really like to know from you, what is something that you want in your life? What is something that is or will be part of your visualizing process? I would love to know. If you can leave me a comment below, I would appreciate it, and this way we can kind of put the good intentions out there together. Tip number 2, start ignoring your amygdala. Fear helps us with self-preservation. We feel it in order to protect ourselves from danger and heighten our awareness. This fear and the related emotions are controlled by a section of the brain called amygdala, and it's basically an almond-shaped section of the nervous tissue that is located in the temporal lobe of the brain. And normally there are 2 amygdalae per person, so basically 1 on each side of the brain. Now the amygdala works to control fear responses, secretion of hormones, arousal, and the formation of emotional memories. It does work to keep us safe, but it can also get in the way of taking bold steps in our lives and moving forward with confidence. So a great habit to have is to always ask yourself in a moment when you fear something. You should ask yourself, is this, insert what scares you, a danger to my life? Is it going to physically harm me? Or is it an emotional fear that can be conquered? Let that answer guide you, because successful people are bold and they don't let decisions be based on a chemical level, but rather based on their hunger, their desire, and logical thinking and planning. Tip number 3 is to define your priorities. Many of us tackle too many things at once because we don't have a priority label attached to the things we have on our plate, both personally and professionally. To help define that, start by gauging what your personal and professional goals are, and as you do things, ask yourself, is this in line with my ultimate goal? The things that are not may not serve you, so they should be at the bottom of the list, if not completely dropped. This way, your precious time is spent only on things that will propel you forward and that actually feed your mental and physical, your emotional, financial, and spiritual growth. Habit number 4 complements the defining process of priorities, and that is to single task. I know many of us think that we are multitaskers, but in actuality, only about 2% of the world's population can actually do it successfully. I know it's staggering. So the rest of us, and yeah, I own up to it, we are more like serial taskers. And listen, there is nothing wrong with not being able to multitask. What is wrong is to continue believing that we can and we are, and then half-assing things and drowning into stuff and feeling overwhelmed. A habit that will change your life is to know what your priorities are, to know when enough is enough on your to-do list so you don't overextend yourself, and then tackle one item at a time and not start the other until you're fully satisfied with the results of the previous one. I, for example, have an accountability process already in place. I basically have a note that I stick to each of my daily to-do lists to remind me of these things. And if I finish the week with all 5 days or 6 successfully accomplished and with a level of quality that can only come from single tasking, then I reward myself with something that either makes me happy or that relaxes me. The next tip that will change your life is to wake up and get up earlier. I have never met or heard of multi-millionaire or billionaire people sleeping in if it's not vacation time. Even then, it's truly an amazing feeling when you can get things done while others are barely opening their eyes. Whenever I start my work before 7, I'm more laser focused, and I usually get about 30% of my to-do list done by 9 a.m. because there are far less distractions and interruptions. And believe it or not, I'm actually a night owl and I hate waking up early. But if you're like me too, achieving so much will drive you to do it. So whatever time you normally get up, set the alarm for 30 minutes earlier and keep that time consistent for a couple of weeks, or at least until it becomes easier to do it. From there, if you want to wake up even earlier, like my goal, for example, is to be up and going by 6 a.m., then every week you can modify the alarm in 10-minute increments until you reach the desired wake time. What will also help is going to bed at the same time each night, and making sure that if you are waking up earlier than usual, that you go to bed also earlier as well. To ensure your success, you have to know when to stop and just go to bed. You need at least 6.5 hours consistently every night, ideally 7 or 8. Habit number 6 is to create a morning routine. I function so much better when I wake up and do the same things in the same order and I get ready to start my day. I talked about having a routine before, and I want to articulate how important a routine is to a healthy lifestyle. As you create your routine, make sure to include things that make you happy and things that are healthy as well. When you do that, you ease into your day. You are not rushed or scrambling to get things done, which of course will raise your stress and start the day all wrong. The 7th habit is to build our mental and emotional toughness. Taking things personally and too seriously, blaming others or ourselves, or getting distracted, they are common things, sadly often experienced. And I have to be honest, I put a lot of blame on these things as some of the major reasons why there's such a big gap between the very wealthy and the 99%. It's something that I also struggle with, and damn it, the people who work to become billionaires did not get there by letting other people get to them and then acting out of that place. They did not let the past or blame hold them back. They stayed sharp and focused. Now granted, we may see people on TV or whatnot that change with success, and that could jeopardize their legacy, but arguably, for the most part, these people were rocks. I've made a video about how to stop taking things personally, and the private blog on that topic that is available to my email subscribers is really, really strong. I will link the video for you below. Watch, rewatch, do and redo what it takes to adjust and rebuild new habits. I will also link a couple of other videos that I think will help to just reaffirm and essentially get to the next level. Number 8 is to ask for what you want. I will say this, I swear, until it becomes permanently tattooed on the subconscious of everybody watching my videos, because it is so important. A mouth that doesn't ask doesn't get fed. And it's nobody's responsibility or job to make us happy. It's ours and ours alone. And if we don't speak up about what we want or what we need, then we are relying on other people's judgment of what could be good for us and be let down. We will never have enough, and we will live in that perpetual disappointment. You want something, there is no shame in asking for it. Ask for it. If you get a no allows you to know where you stand and then reroute, and that is so much better than standing still and living in fear and disappointment. Habit number 9 is to set online boundaries, because it's easy to get sucked into a vortex of internet and social media and realize at the end of the day that nothing much was accomplished. I have another video resource below that can help support this tip, and in addition, I recommend not including the checking of emails as part of the morning routine, but rather doing it once you start the day. I also recommend creating specific windows of time when it's okay to check these things out. And if you're worried about any emergencies, you can check your email every 30 minutes, but if nothing there is urgent, then get back to doing what you were doing, and then have a session of getting back to emails and checking social media, let's say every 3 hours for X amount of time. Those are things that you will create based on your lifestyle and type of work, but this is technically how it should all flow. Number 10 is to carve out some alone time. I have a friend who I really love, and we've been in each other's lives closely for over 8 years, and she is a perpetual giver. She watches these videos, so you know who you are. You need something, she may be in the middle of helling a handbasket, but she'll stop what she's doing to help you. Helping others is vital, and that is not the issue. Balance is. Striking a balance and learning to be selfish and equally put yourself as number one is instrumental not only to your health and well-being, but to that of those around you who need you and depend on you. It is an incredibly influential new habit, and I encourage you to do the same. You can carve out at least 30 minutes of private time, ideally every day or as often as possible. When you set your mind to it, I can promise you that somehow, some way, you will always be able to find a way. Habit number 11 is to learn new things, no matter what they may be or how easy or difficult. And I said this recently in the video about the CEO book recommendations. Successful people never stop learning. Mental stimulation is not only vital for the physical health of our brains, because those who continue learning new things throughout their lives are less likely to develop Alzheimer's disease and dementia. But in addition to that, learning new things makes us more competent, and in the end, that will reflect in our paychecks, in the circle of people that are around us, and overall in the quality of our lives. Next tip is to work out in the morning, because you'll be burning off stored fat. Even 10 minutes before breakfast will burn calories better than the lunch or evening workouts, because exercising in a fasted state with an empty belly is more efficient, plus it will increase fat burn throughout the day. Now, I know how hard it is to get up and do this. Trust me, I swear I do. But you have to search for whatever your motivation may be and live in that. Like, for example, I sprained my neck last week and I spent 2 days in bed, literally. If you follow me on Snapchat, you saw my brace and everything. And I do believe that my body was tighter because I haven't been loosening it up through exercise, and that's why I got injured. I was in excruciating pain. I really cried a lot because I felt so bad and I felt so limited, and then this thing came over me, and I swore that if I'm given the ability to help my body, I will take it. So that is my motivation, to basically never feel like I felt the past weekend ever again. We all have to find that true burning desire and then feed it and support it and then do things out of it. Habit number 13 is to listen to podcasts during your commute. Though it's driving, walking, or taking public transportation, use the time to expand your knowledge. Now, this is a great way to learn and get inspired and even fill in time proactively, because part of getting ahead in life means optimizing your time and your abilities. So this is a great way to pack in even more knowledge. Habit 14 is to dress slightly better than what the occasion calls for. And I'm not talking about like a long shot, but just add a little pizzazz element to what you would normally wear. That could be a colorful shoe or a statement necklace, a jacket, or a hat. Use one or two of these elements to spruce up your look and dress slightly better than what the occasion calls for. You will look and you will feel better. Next, a very important habit is to prepare for success the night before. Similar to getting up early and having an empowering morning routine is creating the right nighttime routine and mindset, because that will help us start tomorrow better and more empowered. Start by picking out the clothes you're going to wear, or finding that pizzazz element from the previous tip. Figure out what you will eat for lunch, or prep it so you can stick to an option that you will be proud of. Pick out the audiobook or the podcast you want to listen to during the commute. These things take like 20 minutes to put together, but they'll give you the extra 20 minutes in the morning to do something that empowers you, that makes you happy, rather than trying to scramble and figure these things out. I also recommend writing your to-do list the night before, the way we talked about doing it in previous videos, taking at least 30 seconds to feel the feeling of gratitude for what you do have in your life right now, some things which maybe you prayed for in the past. And then setting the intention when you lay your head on your pillow that when you're gonna open your eyes tomorrow, you will feel empowered and energized. You will do your best. You will live in this empowering energy, and you will be on track to create the kind of life you want to live or continue living. In the email that I'm working on right now that will go out to my email family on Friday, I will go over some helpful tips on how to really develop habits the right way, plus share the remaining 15 tips that will change your life. The more of them you can adopt into your life, the better off you'll be. So I just want to make sure that you have as much information as possible, and then the rest is up to you. But I do believe in you, and I do believe that you have powers in you that you may not have tapped into yet. So imagine where and what you'll be and how you'll feel once you tap in. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and stay connected with me on social media. I live and breathe Instagram and Snapchat, so I would love to be connected with you there. And that is it for today. Thank you so much for watching. I love you for being here. May good luck and fortune follow you everywhere you go today and every day. I will see you Friday in a new video. Ow, my neck hurt. Bye.